Hey Cappies, I hope everyone's having an amazing week. Welcome to the channel. I know it's been several weeks since I posted. Thank you for your patience, Capricorn. You're amazing. I absolutely love you guys. I was in the Mojave Desert, so just didn't really have enough Wi-Fi signal or signal on my phone to do any videos while I was there, but thanks for your patience nonetheless. We're going to be using the Osho Zen Tarot deck for your reading today. And I'm also going to pick several cards from the Kimberly Crayons Archetypes deck, which is also one of my favorites. And so I did a pre-shuffle for you, Capricorn. This is kind of what I got for you today, so bear with me. I figured I'd just kind of not delay and do the card drawing since it wastes a little bit of time and I can get less content out in terms of the messages. But basically what I'm seeing, Capricorn, is that you're moving into a state of truth. You are cutting through the BS in your life and the clutter. And it could have also been to a perspective that is no longer relevant to your life experience. So it's quite possible that you're coming to a place of maturity as of late, or this could have been recent past, but you're having the courage. Whenever I see these two cards together, by the way, the Beyond Illusion and the Courage, what that truly indicates to me is, and also to, I guess, the ripeness, because that was right in the middle, which indicates maturity. But what I'm picking up on, Capricorn, is that maybe previously you were not strong enough to see the truth about a situation. And there's nothing wrong with that. I just want to be clear about that. Sometimes it's hard to see the truth about something. It's actually quite challenging to embrace things that are not pleasant, that we unfortunately have to look at, because when we look at them and they're not pleasant, you can't unsee, right, what you've already seen. So it's easier just at times just like look away and be like, I don't see it, it's not happening, I don't want to face it. But it takes a lot of courage to come forth and to look at something that's unpleasant and see the truth for what it is. Finally, even though maybe you've known all along. So you're coming to a place of maturity, I think, where you're having a different experience and level of understanding and perception relative to what has been going on around you. And instead of being maybe closed-minded, because not to say all Capricorns are like this, but at times Capricorns are very responsible. They're very logical. They want to be able to ground these goals, ambitions, dreams, or just visions that they have for themselves into the earth in a realistic way. So meaning, like, sometimes they will have lofty ambitions, but if they can't ground that into reality, they're logical enough to be like, I don't know if I should put my time and effort into that, which is, I appreciate that about them, because they won't waste their time on things that they cannot manifest, or just is very unlikely to manifest despite hard work and putting in effort to obtain that. At the same time that you look at this situation, Capricorn, something's going to come to your awareness about the potential. If you've judged somebody previously, or you have been projecting yourself, or maybe what you've wanted to see onto somebody else or your situation, that's all kind of coming crashing down. You got the transformation card in the bottom of the deck, so that indicates to me the underlying theme is somewhat of a change and transformation. You also got change, number 10. October could be a significant month. Could be a Libra too that you're dealing with as well. Or number 13 could also be an Aries or a Cancer. That's what I'm picking up on. So fire signs could also be air or water. You could experience some delays in these changes that you're wanting to make. It could be relative to a relationship as well, Capricorn, because something is you're in your mind a lot. You're thinking a lot. If there are changes you want to make, but it's having the courage to move forward and find the solutions you need to make decisions that are difficult or just outside the realm of your current experience, because it takes courage, right, to go beyond what we typically like to um, stay in, I guess, as it relates to safety, security, our little box, right? We stay in the little box because it's easy. Something wants you to expand beyond that, and move towards change and transformation of the self so you can have fun again. If something's become a big burden on you, I think it's consuming your mind. How do I get out of this matter? How do I move past some of the difficulties I've had, and see, instead of looking at the negative ways of perceiving life, you could also be very much like thinking negatively, like if you've experienced some hardship or just things have not gone in the way that you've expected them to. It could be consuming your mind and just, how do I make this better? Or going back and replaying the situation over and over again. Like, why did I do that? I could have done this differently. The divine wants you to release that, Capricorn, and understand that once you do that and you cut through the clutter and can see the truth for what it is, having the courage to look at it, right? Because you're maturing and evolving, that you're going to see it for what it is finally, which is going to allow you to release some of these responsibilities and burdens that you've been carrying for quite some time that are essentially really holding you back. So it could also be boundaries that you put up with people. The reason why I say that as well is because in the archetypes deck from Kim Kranz, you actually got the stone, you got the tear, you got the kiss, and the two cards, the outcome cards that you got were Eros, which I believe is, divine love. It's sacrificial love. Eros and Psyche, the two, the love couple, and also dead end. So I think that you have to put, I feel strongly it's a relationship from the past or an old way of thinking, or not choosing to look at difficult situations when they're in front of your eyes and dealing with them in a mature way. Okay, accepting the truth for what they are and having the courage to face them, right? Because it's not easy. That's really what consumes the mind for you, ultimately, Capricorn. It's like, I'd rather just continue to go on and pretend it didn't happen versus just like forcing yourself to step up to the plate, be accountable, or just having to transform your ways of engaging or interacting with people in a manner that is healthy, right? Because we are all projecting conditioning from childhood, from the way we were raised and our parents and our friends. And it's not always healthy, right? Like, we actually have to step into our own, understand that there are possible ways to handle situations that are different, right? It doesn't have to be like totally 180, but it could just be a slight adjustment that you need to make, Capricorn, that could ultimately provide healing and closure to a situation that is not right for you, or just handle things in a way that is less stressful on your mindset and your overall well-being, because it does tend to weigh on you ultimately. Like, I'm consumed with this stress. How do I get out of my mind, right? But I can't break free from this, even though you can. It's like being stuck in your old ways of thinking instead of understanding there are a lot of possibilities for you to change and move forward and evolve in ways that are actually healthy and not just like going to hold you back in life or be barriers to your ultimate success. I do feel that there is a situation that needs to come to an end strongly. I think you're fully aware of this, Capricorn. It's already been brought to your attention that this needs to end. This just actually flew off as I picked this other card. We'll just read it because it probably is a message. But the burden, there is a huge burden you've either been carrying. Could have been a past relationship, a marriage, a divorce, family situations, a job that you're in. But I feel strongly it's likely going to be a relationship that you're carrying these burdens, or a weight of a burden that I don't think you have to. The divine wants you to know that you can release these burdens finally, change and move on, because this is a dead end situation, unfortunately. I think you've given it all that you can, and there's not much more. If there's no love left in the relationship, right? I think you long for this type of connection that you're not living, and it's causing you pain and suffering emotionally, mentally, and spiritually. And if you feel empty at times, you're aware that you have to cut something off, but you're just not doing it. So if you're holding on to a memory, someone from the past, a situation, a relationship that's just long expired, it's having the courage to realize there's so much more out there as a possibility for you and potential. You just actually have to make the necessary changes before you can allow room for that to come forth in your current life experience. Release any emotions that you feel tied to this matter. I feel like you've been holding back on speaking up, saying something important, that you see the value in somebody else. Like, you don't always have to end relationships in a negative way, right? You can still respect and treat each other with like some level of appreciation as you come to closure on the matter or an ending, and be authentic with it. Doesn't always have to hurt or sting so bad, or you don't, for feeling guilty. It might cause some emotions, but again, that I do feel like that's when you love somebody, that's how you should complete the cycle, right? Leaving them with closure to understand I have respect enough for you to speak my truth, to tell you what I appreciate about you, to tell what I appreciate about the relationship, what you've given to me, how I've matured. But ultimately, I'm seeking something more in my life that I just don't feel is possible here. So it might just even be that simple, Capricorn, and then moving forward. Let me just pick two more for you. Going into next week, what are the messages for Capricorn? Pretty deep, right? Gotta love it. Back to the Mojave, right to it, deep messages. Gotta love it, Capricorn. You always keep it exciting for me, the reader. Got the Mirror. There's some type of self-deception or illusion that you've been living, Capricorn. I think it's just time to be honest. If you have been secretive about something or just you haven't been fully forthcoming with information, I think now is the time that the divine wants you to speak up, or just have the courage to look in the mirror to see the truth about who you are. It's all a growing experience. And the temple is to appreciate and be graceful for this experience. Might seem negative now, but just know that the universe only gives you what you can handle rightfully. And I don't think if you were ready for it, the universe wouldn't have manifested it at this time. But I think that you have to go within. You have to not be afraid to see the truth for what it is and come to a place of acceptance and forgiveness. I always think of forgiveness when I see this card as well, because sometimes we have to encounter people or situations that we're not truly familiar with in order to grow, evolve, and change for the better. And it's not easy sometimes to encounter those people because they can often be a mirror of everything that we're not, everything that we hope to be, everything that we don't want to be, right, as well. But have faith and just appreciation and forgiveness for yourself, because no one's perfect. You don't have to be. You can release burdens and responsibilities, and you don't have to carry them any further. No one's going to think anything less of you, right? Just have the courage to step into your own truth, and don't let what anyone else has to say about you burden you anymore or consume your thoughts or mind. But unless you can face the truth of your situation, I don't think anything new is going to manifest in your life. It's about clearing out the old, and so new and beautiful things can come forth for you. All right? That's all I had for you today, Capricorn. Thank you for joining the channel. As always, like, share, subscribe, put a comment in. I love to read those. And if you'd like a personal, check the description box below for my email. I did some last week. They were absolutely beautiful, and I'm so appreciative of each and every one of you that I touched base with. But I hope you guys have an amazing upcoming week, all right? Stay positive, and I look forward to seeing you guys soon, all right? Bye, Capricorn. Have a great day. Take care.